Morning.
You can talk about him now.
Right.
Hi, dude.
Hi. Right.
Yeah, peace, brother.
Oh dear. Oh.
I got these glasses last year. I never wore them.
No, don't blame you. Yeah.
What do you mean you don't blame me? Cheeky man.
Oh dear. Do they keep the sun out though?
Yeah, the idea is when you're driving.
Oh, is that you put them on top of the others?
Yeah. It's because this time of year in spring, I get bloody migraines.
No, you don't know. No.
It's the low light, isn't it? It's the sun.
Yeah. It's horrible when you're driving into it, isn't it? You can't see a thing.
Well, yeah, and the reflection off the car in front's window or mirror tends to kick it off a bit. Anyway, whatever.
Not to worry. Yeah.
I ain't worried.
Oh, who's this coming? Pauline? Is it?
Hey. Yeah. Today's all her fault, you know that.
Well, I bought myself a bunch of daffodils yesterday, so I thought, well, that's handy. I can copy those.
Why not?
Yeah.
Very, very pretty bunch of flowers that Pauline had.
It was the whole thing, the whole view with the window and that, wasn't it?
I don't know about that.
Caught
What's
my
happened to
eye.
Pauline? She's not here.
Yeah,
Well, she's not talking.
she's having a fiddle.
Yeah, her computer's playing up, I expect. Oh.
I've just
Biscuits.
took the dog around the park.
Oh, lovely.
He was,
I'm going to make a cup of tea.
go for it. It's the only way I get any peace, Carol.
Why is that?
Well, because I tend to take, as soon as Mel gets up, does her bits in the bathroom, then it's just
The dog's
around
up.
the park. So he's in a
Yeah.
habit now.
Oh, dear.
So he ends up,
I'm here.
Morning. Oh, it's
Morning.
Chris. It's Chris. Morning.
I am here. The hand is here.
The hand
Hi,
is here.
Anne. How are you,
Hi.
Anne?
A bit better, thank you.
Good.
Good. I don't know why you don't come out from there.
Oh,
We don't.
I
Hiding.
look like I'm staying out the way.
Oh.
Morning,
you know,
Chris.
she knows I'll do a screen capture and she'll be the subject of a portrait.
Yeah.
I was looking over the cricket park this morning. Of course, they're getting all ready for cricket. I said to Mel, that'd be a good subject, the cricket match. I'll come over and take a photo.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
It's traditional, isn't it, to do that?
Yeah.
Or bowling.
Yeah.
I know for a bowl that I know for the cricket pitch is on the dog walk, and the bowling green over at don't know what it's called now. Can't remember. But anyway, it's just down the road. That's a big Christchurch bowling club, and that's a place to walk the dog as well, because it's got a big lake and
Lovely.
Nice.
lots of
Morning, Joyce.
Knee Meadows. That's it, Knee Meadows.
Oh.
Meadow, they've left it to grow like meadows with wildflowers. So in the summer, it can grow really big.
Oh, sounds
Lovely.
nice.
Yeah, full of ticks, I expect.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
Funny, isn't it? They used to have fields like that all the time. I used to play in when I was a kid. All where I lived, we used to play, I don't know, war games, cowboys and Indian, all kinds of things. And all the fields used to come back with armfuls of cowslips from your mum, or
Yeah.
jam jar full of sticklebacks and newts, and
Oh, yeah.
all those fields were like, well, we were only little, but the meadow, you know, all the flowers, they were like waist high to us, or head high almost. We used to make dens in there. you could flatten it all out and lie down, and nobody knew you were there.
Oh, the kids
Gone.
can't do that today, can they?
No.
None
Just
of them.
roam like we used to.
No, that's right.
None of those fields, they're all gone.
Mm.
And the ones that were left, they decided to build houses on.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And orchards. These every other sort of field, green space was an apple orchard. All gone. We should get.
Yeah,
try and
it's a
get back
shame.
to
Isn't
that.
it?
Mm.
Well, we were self-sufficient in a way then. We had to grow our own apples,
right.
and
Yeah.
what have you. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Morning, Gordon.
Oh, morning, Christine.
Morning.
He's just
Hello.
made a cup of tea. Joyce snuck in quietly. Look, I just
She did, didn't
I did indeed. Yes, I was fascinated by what you were talking about. I thought, oh, that's taking me back as well.
Yeah.
Just beautiful,
Gosh.
isn't it now?
Mm.
Very lovely in the sunshine now.
Yeah.
Mm.
well.
Really nice.
First day for ages, I've walked over there, taking the dog with no jacket or anything, just
Yeah,
a shirt on, really.
yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Makes you feel better, doesn't it?
I did have my scarf, my little wrap.
Oh,
Oh, well done.
I love that stuff. I like it. I don't know, it just makes me feel posh.
oh
And the
dear.
good thing about this one is because I got that hat, support Ukraine beanie hat thing. This is the same blue, so it goes with it.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
So put that with me dark glasses on, with me Trotsky beard, and I'm walking around the
Incognito.
park going like this, walking the dog. I should take a donation tin. I reckon I can make it on.
Yeah, probably
Oh.
think poor old man, he wants some money.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear. So how is everybody? Are we all
Yeah.
well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jogging along, and you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You all right, Anne?
Yeah, getting there. Thank you. Now, Chris.
Good.
Slowly
Really
but
good.
sure. Yeah.
How's your back, Gordon?
It's improving, yeah, thanks. But I won't be sitting here all day.
No.
Right. Yeah. You get too stiff, don't you?
Yeah.
It's been doubled up.
Caravanning coming up.
Sorry?
Yeah, meant to
Any
be.
caravanning coming up?
The art course at the end of this week.
Oh,
We're hoping to.
is that the weekend or the whole week?
Whole week.
Oh.
Oh,
But
Oh wow. You can show us what you do.
Yeah.
Get there.
if we get there, yeah.
We're trying.
Mm.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Are you going, Chris?
No,
No, it's
Right.
up a hill.
Like my
no. It's up a hill.
It's up a hill. Don't you go up?
Don't you do
so-
hills?
No.
Not if I can help it.
it's the thing in it when you get older. It's you open the bedside cabinet top drawer, and inside there's a tube of this, tube for that, tube for the legs, tube for the back. I
yes,
thought,
and if you take something out, it's
Tablet.
always going to fall on the floor as well, so you've got to go and pick it up.
Mm.
don't forget
Oh,
the food. Then you got some foo powder. Go watch that.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Talcum powder, but it just you put a bit of that anywhere, and it's like poof, clouds of it come up. Johnson's baby.
Oh, I like that. I like that smell. It's nice.
I've
I've got a whole cupboard here of medicine. When I go and get Peter's for 2 months, I come home with a big bag full.
How's he?
Mm.
How is Peter?
Yeah, yeah, he's not too bad. Yeah, he was better yesterday. Some mornings he gets a bit confused, and then he goes on and on whatever he's got confused about. But
Right.
yeah,
Mel's mum, she's advanced stage of dementia,
Oh, is she? Oh, gosh.
and Mel goes on usually Mondays and Thursdays.
Mm.
And I thought, how's your mum like? She was totally no response now. It's been like it for a long time, but
Oh.
Mel was saying she's just staring at the ceiling all the time.
Oh. It's sad, isn't it, really? Yeah.
It's a horrible illness, isn't it?
Mm.
Absolute awful.
Yes, indeed.
Not like some.
Oh.
Hey,
Wow.
look at that.
Oh, that's good. Who's is that?
lovely.
Yeah.
That's that woman that hides around the corner.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it's lovely.
That's great. Yeah.
Funny, it
Wow.
looks like a cartoon, but it doesn't. In real life, it doesn't look so cartoony.
Oh, it's
Oh.
lovely.
That's good.
You've got lots of detail in there, eh?
Yeah.
Mm.
I enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah,
I think
yeah. I'm not sure that I enjoyed mine, but
No, it's
No.
the trees and the bushes that get me.
I've never
Well-
been a lover of green. That's the trouble.
No,
it was
I'm with you on that one, Chris.
Mm.
Dave, did anybody else notice the two gnomes underneath the bridge fishing?
Can't say I did.
I've zoomed. You did you, Chris?
No.
No.
No, yeah. If you zoom that you're photographing
Mm.
on my computer, it looks like there's two gnomes fishing underneath a bridge.
Oh,
Did you put those in yours?
That's where Norman went.
Oh.
I don't think I got that medicine in my.
Have you had your eyes tested lately?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Do you want my postcode? You can send some over. Fair play.
Yeah, it
worked
looks really
actually.
nice.
And it'll give you the option to put in a bit of red to, you
Yeah.
know, warm the picture up.
Yeah.
It was. I just thought it was an exercise in Viridian green for me. Who was that? That was
That's mine.
Carol.
that's lovely.
That's good, yeah.
Wow, I got a bit lost with the trees at one point, but
The house is lovely.
That was the point, wasn't it? It was how to produce that amount of green with variation. So you knew, your brain knows that there's loads of trees there, but you haven't painted each individual one, which is just, we ain't got time for all that rubbish.
oh gosh, no.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you.
And, oh, that's my one. I must,
I was just going to say, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And so
you know,
it should be.
I thrashed around with that for ages, and I it ain't right.
Oh,
There you go. But there was a lesson. The lesson is, you know, the lesson is that we learned something new.
Yeah, we can't draw trees.
I quite enjoyed it in a way.
David, you sure that's your one? It looks suspiciously like mine.
It is. I'm just waiting for somebody to say,
Oh.
oh,
I
Is
just
it
look
that-
at it and think, no, that's mine.
it looks a bit bright for mine.
yeah, it's good.
That was tiny. That was 5x7.
Oh,
right.
wow. Gosh.
Teeny little canvas. Because I didn't
Oh.
really want to do it. I thought I'm not going to waste a big canvas. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can see the two gnomes in the back on yours as well. Which, yours is better than mine.
Don't be silly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The clouds are good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the clouds.
Yeah, there was a good. I only noticed on this morning when I was looking at it that it had that sort of white feel. Oh no, that one's mine, Chris.
That's yours.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's all right. But
Yours looks more oldie worldy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What sort
hopefully
of
my buildings
fonts do
are
we
about to
use?
fall down. I find it, the problem with is I don't know if I ought to write some notes on the back of the paintings for future reference if you do it again, you know, to say, you know, try and knock, I don't know what the answer is. How to make the buildings stand out more? Is it to put more darks in the shadows? I've tried that and that sort of doesn't work, and lifted shadows out, and so I must admit, I think it's one of those, it is what it is, just get on with it, enjoy it. But I must admit, using that Viridian green was quite when you think I've spent all my watercolor artistic life avoiding it purposely, and now I've discovered that if you can use it for just about everything, from creating shadow tones, neutral tones, and if you add a little bit of yellow oil to it, it makes incredible greens. So lesson learned.
It's a learning then.
I actually considered, I probably will, I was buying a tube the other day. Next time I'll add it onto the list. That's lovely, look at that. That's got a Scottish feel to it to me.
Okay.
Can't see any notes.
No.
That's the postcard size one. I'm doing another one up.
I can't. Yeah, there is. There's something on that rock.
Out in the middle of the river. The square one.
What do you like? It's good though.
That's
Good
I like the
opportunity.
colours.
yeah, nice, aren't they?
I like
Yeah.
the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's smaller than Chris's actually.
No,
It is.
is it? Wow.
Crikey.
On that book.
Oh, blimey.
Oh my goodness.
Crikey.
Amazing what you can do with a computer, isn't it?
No.
It's totally different.
There you
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
sad.
Wow.
Oh, that's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
go. I couldn't sit still long enough to do a big one, so I thought I'd do that.
Mm.
Yeah, very good.
That's good.
Well, it's more than a doodle, put it that way.
Yeah.
Quite like you've had what I've said in the past. If you do something, it has consequences elsewhere in the picture. If you use that blue in one part of the picture, you've got to introduce it on other parts of the picture to balance it up, which is what you've had to do there.
I used
Right,
it as the
looks like
shadow colour, yeah.
Nice one, Gord.
Thank you.
One thing I did find, where's the one I did? Hang on. What I did do, because I've used what do you call it, not finished paper, which has got a roughish surface. It's not rough, but it's in between, isn't it? What I did find earlier today was, as it's now bone dry, you know, I've not touched it for a few days anyway, so it's really dry. Using the rigger, I found that I could just scoop up a little bit of dark onto the rigger and just brush the rigger over the, you can see where I've done it over this area, just, and it using dark, and it gave a sort of like little dark leaves which was quite handy. So that's what I was saying to Mel this morning, that every week you do a new picture, you learn something. Every time you paint something happens. I don't know.
That's Thanks, Joyce.
Yeah.
How did you know?
You missed the house out.
I have to say it was my second one. The first one was an unbelievable disaster.
Oh,
And
gosh.
it's got the distinction of being the second thing I've ever binned.
Really?
Oh, right.
Yes, it was that bad. And I thought I hadn't got a lot of time, so I thought I'll do a small one. So that's an A5,
Oh,
Oh.
and obviously not all the pictures, but there you go.
No.
Yeah, it's
Well,
good.
a postage
Yeah.
stamp
Yeah, we
would
could
make
do
a nice
postage
postage
stamp.
stamp, wouldn't it?
Mm.
You
Yes,
get the
you've definitely got a unique
Queen's
style
head
of
up
voice.
here with like 18p or something, a little bit of text down the bottom, art by Mrs. Joyce Fowson,
Oh.
Mm.
copyright, sing.
I'm not sure if Royal Mail would accept it, but you never know.
Well,
That's
when you've
lovely.
got them on it, yeah. I mean, the
Mm.
thing about that sort of size as well, you need just the main elements to show it off, you know. Otherwise, you've got to look at through a magnifying glass to see what the picture is all about. I like that.
Mm.
That was Pauline.
Pauline, that's
Oh.
nice.
Pauline. Yeah, that one works.
Can't get the hang of those trees.
I like
Not e-
the castle building. The colour in that is really nice.
Yeah.
Nice tones in that.
Mm.
I like the bridge. I think you got the bridge really well.
Yeah. What I found when I was mucking about this morning with just my one, it's the base of this building, which looks like a workhouse, doesn't it? That is really white. That bit on the bridge was white, so I lifted paint off, and the same down the bottom of here that was white. But I was just trying to look at bits that I could try and emphasize the buildings more. It's so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know the buildings are there, but making them fold in and become part of the thing it's not easy. It's definite have to have another go at this. Perhaps a different castle. Iron Bridge would be good, wouldn't it? I'll make a note of that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
you have to.
Absolutely.
No, because that's up that way, isn't it? The Iron Bridge, and that's got the valley with the water now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's good to talk. I'm glad I've remembered that. That was good. I enjoyed that. No one said it was going to be easy.
Everybody did one this week. That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Gordon actually, hat off to Gordon. He did 2 last week.
Yes.
Did 2 this week, but haven't finished it yet.
Oh.
Hang on. Let me find. This week's, I haven't done a lot of preparation really as such. I deliberately, because I thought, no, you cannot. I used to do flowers. I remember Anne bought a flower card or a couple of me years ago, and I used to do them really loose and just enjoy it. And I thought, try and do some of that on this for a change. But what I did do is I found the one I put up on the sort of advertising account crops it like that, and I thought, do you know what, I like that, so I've gone that way. Actually, there's a bright version of it.
I like that. I think that's in watercolor, because you get that translucency, don't you?
Sometimes. Oh really?
Maybe.
Oh, right. Yes, I did a black and white one, see if we could find out where the tones were as well. I forgot to print that off, but we'll have to squint my eyes up this morning. Did one with a grid for sketching. Even then that was one. Just trying to align and tone that sort of, I thought, nah, this is confusing me more than anything. That's the original picture there. Have they died off now, or?
Yeah, long gone. They're long gone. So I can't do a retake.
They don't keep.
Staffs only last about a week, don't they? Same as
Yeah.
tulips.
Yeah, the bloke that grows them said they last about 2 weeks.
Right.
But I think he would say that because he's trying to flog them, isn't he?
He might. Not indoors. I've got a lovely vase of tulips that I was given.
Oh, right. Nice.
I've got some live tulips to look at. I've got loads of hyacinths in the garden.
I do. I like the smell of them.
The other bit, I'm doing it on the other camera works anyway. It's the other way.
Every time I get a bowl of hyacinths or anything, I just chuck them out in the garden afterwards, and it's lovely when they all come up. I can't believe how many there are.
Look out.
Look out indeed.
Anything. I did print out some nice. I haven't got a theme today. It's just going to develop this morning. I did a nice sketch. It's very. What's the word? It's very in. I have actually sketched too. Not because I started off thinking I'd perhaps sketch the whole thing. This is on the cheap one, the rascal paper that you can't tear, made out of jeans. But I thought, no, I don't know. Then I saw the cropped version. I thought, do you know what, I like that. Bit more. I actually thought of Joyce at the time. I thought, yeah, that's got more of a
Joycey thing.
looser.
Simplistic.
Yeah, naive, I like to think.
Yeah, that's another good word.
So anyway, looking at it, if I'm prone to, I think what I'm going to do is trying to set some pointers. Might even sit down for this. I'm good at making some.
I wish your blinds were up though, Joyce.
Yeah, to my mind that.
It does make a lovely effect. It does make a lovely picture to look at. I'm not sure about painting.
The big decision is.
Where to start?
So it's where no, well, no, what's that? But which, even though I've sketched it, I can't remember what's what now. That's the trouble when you sketch things a few days before and then you come back and you forget. Hang on, I'm just trying.
Chris.
Yeah.
Got a visitor.
Oh well. First off.
Is that real?
Oh, Mr. Ben, hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just woke up.
Oh,
Listen, I was going to ask actually, because Debbie's just got her two out the fridge.
Yeah.
But she's a bit worried because they're not eating.
They won't in the fridge. They can't open the package.
Dumpling. They're out the fridge. They've been out 2 or 3 days now, but they're not eating much yet. Yeah.
It went cold on Monday. We didn't bring him out yesterday. It was too cold. But today it's
Trying to
warmer.
decide.
I think it's so funny when you say you didn't bring him out the fridge because it was too cold.
Well, true, yeah.
Yeah.
First off,
Sorry, Dave, we've
no,
digressed.
it's all right.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that anyway. I've got some of that Viridian or
we thought we better do it before Dave started. That was all.
some green colour.
Right, off out.
I'm going to mix it. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
Well, you
There's a
had to
bit
get him out before your holiday.
Yeah.
of blue.
They said it's going to be warm this week, so
Yeah, it is. It's going to be lovely.
yeah.
Oh, that's a nice colour, Dave.
Yeah, that's again, that's Viridian with
That's really tulip leaf covered colour.
I'm not concentrating on that at the moment. I'm thinking just briefly, I'm going to get some clean water on my brush. I'm going to pick out. No, I think I am. I had it clear in my mind then, but it's gone again. Lemon twit. Right, no. Just for I need to decide where the background, which is the background. So this is just a little bit of green. I've made the decision now, so
Well done.
this is this paper is Arsh's flat, you know, this hot press. So it's got no humps and doodles in it. So that's that one. So I've got to have something here, am I? If I don't set them, it's a bit like the old, I keep nagging on about the blue for windows. If I don't put them in, I'll lose it. So that's my thinking here. Do I need, don't think it's all a mass of flowers over there. Perhaps I could put one there. So I've got the hairdryer all set up, so I'll put that there for a minute. Have a look at the other side. Definitely. Outside green there. While it's damp, I think I'll drop in a bit of no. Then we get to the bottom one, don't I? So I have got a picture here. Miss one green. A little teaser there. And that's one there. While it's wet, should be able to mix up a darker strain. Just drop a bit in here and there while it's damp. Let it. The whole world's going to be covered in Viridian green from now on. Till I grow out of it. But I thought if I do this first and just dry it off a bit, I still got in my palette down here, I've still got a load of what's that stuff? Indigo ink.
Paint.
Yeah, it's like ink, isn't it? It's so dark. But I've just left it in there and I've using it for shadows. It does dry a bit with a blue tinge to it though. If I can get this set up, once I'm dry, then I can concentrate on It's always the same when you're doing these with any painting. The initial stage is sort of blocking in. I think blocking in with a purpose though, because blocking in invariably is involves this sort of thing where you're either doing the background, or if it's portrait, the surroundings and all the rest of it, ready for sitting the main subject, or flowers in this case, on top. Seems to be soaking into paper, so I'm going to go over it more than once. It's not as dark as I thought it was. I said this about the Arches paper, which is everyone, us proper artists, use it, don't they? It's a bit more expensive. I was saying about it last week. Unlike other papers, the what do you call it? The size is on the inside. Just thinking, I'm going to add a little bit of that's a little bit of blue and drop in some green there, because that's the window ledge bit, and it's not quite green. It's got a shadow coming off of the edge of the window. Pauline's looking out of a window going, oh yes, all right for you. You can look at it, just look straight at the window. Actually, that's not always a good thing. Too much information, is it? Right. Leave that alone. And next, should we start at the top and work our way down? That's the theory. No, I can't really. Can I?
Oh gosh.
Bit of clean. Well, if it runs, it runs. So I'm going to pick out this petal. I think when you draw in them, that's the way to do it. Just clean water. I don't know what this yellow is. I think it's Terry Harrison's golden yellow. But I've made it damp. Try and look at I just reminded myself to look at the flower and try and see where the shadow bits are. And in this case, they're obviously just there where the inside is. Shadow color, for me, I'm just using cobalt, turquoise, and adding a little bit of red to it. And just dropping it in. Just let the water do some work. Or do the work, really. If you think like I do at the moment, I'm looking at it. Can lift off. Usually I'm going to lift off from the front. Try and find some highlights. It's quite handy, these new brush. Rosemary. It's pure squirrel. Doodah. Mop, for want of a better word. Yeah, so I'm just looking at trying to lift off a bit of too much colour. I might do the opposite way around on this one. Do this next petal here. And again, I've got a little bit of, you can use cerulean, light blue, but that's turquoise, cobalt turquoise. And just add a little bit of red to it. You'll get a sort of a dull, light grey, shadowy tone. So with that in my palette and in mind, I'll use clean water I've got any left. And dab it on that petal. I'll speed up in a minute. Stop burbling off and just go for it. Because they're all going to be the same. Now take a bit of that tone, shadow, and let it drop its, bear in mind it's going to be, well, it should be slightly darker coming from the front of the flower, and drop a little bit of the yellow in. Really, I should probably easier just to get a pool of yellow. I just thought I'd try it the opposite way around to what I did it the other way. See if it feels better or worse. Actually, I think putting the yellow in first is preferable. Well, it might be. I think it works better. I'm being really delicate here. That's Chris put that in my mind, saying, "Oh yeah, watercolor, you can get it that translucency." So if it comes out wishy-washy, I know who I'm going to blame. I'm going to watch this because the blue in the neutral shadowy tone will make the yellow go grey, so go greeny. So I'm just conscious of that. In any case, what we should be concentrating on is what I said the other week. It's not the hue of the colour, the tone of the colour is more important. And especially in flowers, because you need to get the subtle hues to tease them out. As it dries. Yeah, what I was saying about this paper is that the size is in the middle. It's sandwiched inside. So when you use it, it takes a bit of getting used to, because you put paint on and it soaks it up. So, it soaks right in until it reaches the size which is in the middle. They are rewarding things to paint flowers.
You did tell us just now.
Used to be a guy, lifetime ago at Pine Walk, called Bob. That's the only bit of him I knew. His name was Bob. And all he did every year was paint flowers. He used to turn up, I think he lived in Norfolk, and he used to turn up for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. He used to camp out over at Herne somewhere, and paint flowers. That's all he had on his stand, was just flowers. And everybody used to take the mick, saying, he used to just get the seed catalogues and paint all the flowers on them. It just looked like a huge sort of seed catalogue. Very good. If I recall, he didn't sell a lot. Shame. Something about flowers. Chrissy's going to enjoy this.
I was just thinking, I don't think I will, because
Well, you could do it
with flowers, they're so perfect, and to try and replicate it is difficult.
You don't have to. You. That's what I'm saying. I've deliberately not gone off and tried to set any specific methods, targets, or anything. Obviously, there's a rough procedure where you're going to say, well, I'm going to paint this first, that next. And the thing I'm
I think
hoping, I'm
Sorry.
hoping that I used a different pencil. I'm just hoping it'll run out. Run out. I get the sense with this, but you could do this with acrylic. You can start off with the subtle petals, using it as though it's watercolor. It'll be fine. I think it'll dry really well.
The thing is, daffodils and tulips will always, don't matter what you do with them, you can always tell what they are. They're so distinctive shape.
Mm.
Well, they are fairly nice, really, because the petals are defined, aren't they? They're sort of classic.
Yeah.
Few petals and off you go. On the outside and a trumpet bit in the middle. Wish I knew about all this stuff. Trouble is, there's so much. Life is too short to take it all in. All the things that you'd like to achieve. Well, and the restrictions of not having any money, or you just got to make do, haven't you? But I can sense at some point it's going to be a case of, as per usual with watercolors, the next few days later, start lifting bits off to, to show off some highlights. A lot of the time I find is because I'm looking at printouts, if I look at one print, it's the tones and the values, it's totally different to another one. So frustrating. Anyway, we can set the scene. One of the things about, watercolors that you have to bear in mind is it should be, especially with flowers, I think, is that thing that we were talking about the other week, was layers. Try and do it in layers. I'm going to leave the front, the inside for a minute, I think.
Oh, it's me, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can't hear it.
No.
And get a nice shadow tone. I don't know why I don't mix up a whole load of it over here, because I'm going to use a lot of it over the next few minutes. Someone did say that if you use the turquoise, and a little tinge of red to give you that tone, sort of get a nice grey tone, which is slightly off the picture, sorry. Nice grey tone like that, nice shadow tone, and that you can add a little bit of green to it. Again, that viridian just darkens it up. I noticed that the other day. You can tweak the shadow color and bring it back, and actually I'll wash my brush out before I do it, but you can warm the shadow tone up, just tease a bit of yellow into it, and it's a whole morning's exercise playing with different shadow tones using turquoise blue, or cerulean blue would do it quite well. The only thing about this brush, look at that, the amount of paint it soaks up. You think, hang on, I'm mixing up paint and it's all disappearing. Well, it isn't, it's in the brush. So I've got quite a bit of that now. You need clean tissue. Just looking at my doodah, my petals. Yes, I was afraid that would happen. The paper is so absorbent, it's just slurped it slurp the paint right inside, which is good of it. Just have a look at this one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna press on and add some more shadows. Gordon's nearly finished his.
Mhm.
Try and get some veins. It's also thing when you get new brush, different paper. It's almost like you're learning how to do stuff all over again. There's a lot to be said for da-di-da-di-da, using the same methods and ways of doing stuff. Gradually build it up. Ah. Wow, that's it. It's quite fascinating. The amount of blue that I put in the shadow. You notice how green the yellow's going. But I don't know, but I think that'll work. Carol, you and Paul, you've got the St. Petersburg paints, so you're made. You've got so many nice.
Pressure then.
Yeah.
No, but because you've got so many
Choice of colours.
choices. Yeah, you can have real great fun deciding on the greens. You've got the Viridian and all that stuff. Now then, I'm going to introduce some blue into this. But what blue? That's the thing. I'm hoping that it goes a different blue. Yes, it's not. There we go. Pressure on the job there, mate. How do you get over that? Too much water. Raw sienna. So that's the theme. For me sticks, I'm going back to the traditional sticks. What are they called?
Stems.
Stems. Sticks, stems. I'm good at this gardening, Mark.
Oh dear.
If you got a tree you want sorting out, let me know. I'll be on holiday. I'm not doing that again. Yeah, so for the stems, I've changed the green to, well, changed the base of the green to raw sienna. Otherwise, it's going to clash with the right. It's going to clash with the stuff in the garden through the blinds. That's all. How much can I do? Quite a lot. Raw sienna. But I did pick out individual stems, so try not to paint them all in one go. I'm just thinking out loud now. Holds so much paint, this little brush. I guess that's why you bought it, Dave. Yeah. Obviously, the world's full of covered in green this week and last week.
Mm.
I've tried and left. I'm just doing the foliage stuff at the moment. Raw sienna, drop some blue in while it's damp. This paper definitely takes some getting used to. Without a doubt. I'm finding it quite challenging.
Don't want any hate mail next week after this.
Yeah, we blame it all onto you, Pauline. Oh.
And just spotted the rotary clothesline. We thought it was a greenhouse already.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, is anybody going to draw that in?
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to put the washing on it.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
It's busy painting, isn't it?
Mm.
Very.
Yeah.
It's so busy.
The challenge.
We're up for it. We're up for it.
Oh.
Well, it's making us better artists, that's for sure. I'm just thinking Chris at the moment, like, should be him with a palette knife now. Get in.
I don't know. I'm not
Just
quite
put a
sure.
blob of paint in the middle and just squish it with a palette knife. And you go, oh, that's a shape. That's brilliant. Just the job. I haven't got any red, so what I'm going to try is drop a little bit of crimson rosy madder colour into the centre. Just squirt your eyes up and look for, might get away with a little hint of that in here as well. Just dropping it into where the not bad. There or thereabouts. Just think I need a little bit more yellow over this side. I'm not into botanical paintings, I'm afraid. Never have been. So I'm not going to try and go. It's the same with painting birds and robins and things. That's just a little bit of so I've dropped in the yellow in there and then a little bit of the rose madder with the yellow and just dropped it in on there. It looks really lovely. That.
It's lovely.
Well, the beauty of that colour is it should do. Well, it's called rose madder, so it should be all right to drop onto these red ones. Flowers, are they tulips or?
Yeah.
Are they from Amsterdam or just boring old
Probably
Wimble Market?
Tesco's, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Joking aside, painting flowers, and remember I used to say that all the time at the art group. If you want to learn to paint watercolors, paint flowers, because all the techniques that you're likely to need involved in painting watercolors, softening down, dropping color in like I'm doing here. I've done both on this. I've softened down the bottom. And now I'm just dropping in some stronger color, hopefully to find, don't need that white bit there. Drop in a bit more color. If you want to warm it up, add a bit of yellow to the red. Lift up, pull up, pull up, pull up. There's a shadow bit there. Drop it in and let the water do some of the work. Got to watch it though, because the crimsons and the rose madder and that are highly staining. So once you put them on, and underneath here where it's hitting the stem, I'm just using clean water and just trying to let it drop down, tease down into the stem, which is in the middle, that I've deliberately left alone.
Dave, I'm going to have to disappear. So I'm going to say thank you, and
You'll be all right.
see you all next week.
Okay, bye, Joyce.
Right. Take care
Bye.
then. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You've got your but just this one area incorporates all of the watercolor techniques. Put color on. Now I'm lifting bits off to find some highlights, just looking at the reference image a minute. I've got another one in here to worry about as well, so I'm going to lift that off. That's fine. Looks a bit naked at the moment because it hasn't got a stem, but that'll be all right. I've got a nice stem down here. I say I'm sticking to the theme of raw sienna on the leaves and stems. If I can get some tease into my brush. But I think well, for me, the key thing is to do one at a time, or just avoid stems, avoid doing too many stems at once, so that you vary the mixes of your colors, greens, because they're all individual, aren't they, these flowers? The stem wise, I mean. Some are darker, they all have different tones. There's a bit of the viridian in that one. All I'm doing is putting colour on and dropping it. Oops. Dropping it in. Might need a bit more blue in this. Beauty is, Carol, we've got our watercolor pencils.
Oh yeah.
So
All lovely, nice sharp pencils now.
well, you can tighten up the stems. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
You can go right, you know, pick them out really neatly and look at them and say, right, that's got, like the one I've just done there. I'm using two brushes. I've got the stiff one, which is this old oil painting brush, that I can rub it down one side and lift paint off and just push it into my tissue to take the paint off and just sort of give me some sort of, now I can let that dry, and then in a minute I can go on and do all the other bits in green as well. I can pop that one in the corner there. why do I pick these subjects that take hours and hours?
You've got to draw it yet. Gosh. Oh,
Perhaps we need 2 weeks for this one.
yeah, it's a good idea doing the flowers bigger. You don't have to put so many in then, do you?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I think
Rather
it's
than
just,
draw the whole thing.
well, it's
Yeah.
just patience, really. And I mean, I'm doing it and talking at the same time, which does tend to slow me up, slow things up a bit. Once you pick out, I think that when I was drawing, I was thinking the leaves and the stems. I know in the past when I've done flowers and foliage and that, the hard bit is to make sure you get, you know, establish where they are. They're a bit of a roadmap to the whole picture, really. Fucking hard though.
Mm.
So what I'm doing is putting yellow in and then nicking a bit of blue and dropping that in while it's damp. I'm a great believer in that. But that one's snuck in there a bit. When it's dry, then I'll put in the greys on the slats. There's some there that'll be grey, some behind there, and that'll make it even more interesting. Right, let's crack on and do this flower up here is going to be an absolute nightmare. Lord.
The hyacinth.
Hyacinth.
Mm.
They're like little trumpets, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just using the point of that to squish it around. Goes strong at the top. It's a bit like painting tree. Trying to leave a few pigeon holes, bird holes.
Oh, God.
Now, whether I'll get away with adding a little bit of rosy madder on top of that, just to take the edge off the blue. No. There's more of a trumpet there. That can go up. Get the gist though. Just take a little bit of trumpet colour, cobalt blue, and add a little bit of. I was lucky because I had a bit of the rose madder left in this brush, which when I put it into dipped it into, mixed up some blue, turned it into a nice sort of violet type blue. Maybe it wasn't luck. Maybe I did it deliberately. Okay. You've got time to think about luck. You just got to stick your brush in and go for it. Especially, well, especially when the paper's wet. You want, because you only got so much time. You know, to move it around. It's got some more of this over here, isn't it? You can put some bits in there, and that'll be picked out with the other flower. Stick a bit in there, and then when it's dried back, nothing stopping me to increase the darks. That's all I'm going to be looking at, and Yeah, that flower goes right to there. Well, it's going to be a different color. You got a choice when you come to doing it. You can start, you could start, for example, with this pure lovely example of Floribunda here and work out from it. Might be a nice food for thought. Right, I'm going to go radical. No, I'm just going to stick what I've got. It's horrible. Because, well, the reason I say that is because when you sketch it, you're clear in your mind. You know, you say, right, that's a leaf. That's a flipping stick thing. And if you leave it a couple of days, because I enjoyed myself last week, and so I just went, right, let's get this. I'm going to get ahead of myself and sketch this this one ready. I think I'll add a little extra blue into this. But yeah, the problem is as I say, you end up thinking, where's that stick gone? It's coming though. I'm getting the hang of this now. Right, I'm going to speed up a lot. And no, I'm not. I'm going to slow down a minute. No, it's all right. I just found 2 more flowers.
Oh.
But I will speed up once I've got that. There's a yellow flower here. That yellow. Lift it off. But it's, like I say, emphasises what I keep saying, you know. Flowers, in watercolour anyway, you put paint on, you lift it off, you soften it down. It's all the hard bits of learning to paint in watercolour are evident. You could always knuckle down and paint the whole thing with a rigger. I think I'm not going to bother now, but one of the things you might bear in mind is to keep your water clean, to give that freshness. I'm not that fussed about it now. I'm just going to go whoosh this bit in here. I like these brushes though, because they've got this nice little point on them. And you can just sort of just use the point to drop things in quite accurately. I'm still sticking with that theme of raw sienna and then dropping some blue in. If you want to, you can drop some yellow in if you want. If you find it's going a bit off-piste. And then, like I say, I think the my next few days probably be looking at it thinking that needs a little tightening up with a watercolor pencil or a rigger. Bit of both actually, knowing me. Just tightens brings out a few flowers. I'm looking for the hyacinth over here somewhere. This is a stem here, Chrissy. Definitely a stem.
Yep.
Cool. We're back in that theme from last week. Green. Everything's green.
Green.
But as I say, the beauty
No
of the
wonder you
watercolors
smell
is
me.
you can vary your greens by, like I say, do a bit here, move over there. Well, that's why I do it. Even add some of that indigo if I want. Magic. Is it therapy? I don't know what this is. It's a bit like doing Rubik's Cube. Got so many possibilities.
Gosh.
But I think at this stage, you want to try and keep them defined so that later on, at some other point, you can mix up a dark and then just focus on the dark. Like there's a dark in here for sure. So I'll do it now, but at some point, when it's all dried back, you'll start having picked these out. Chrissy does it in the opposite way. She paints all the dark bits first and then puts the lights afterwards. But for us, we can do it like that and gradually build them up. And there's a clear space there, and then there's dark over here. This is just a bit of that indigo. Fierce colour, but don't have to do the job. And you gradually build it all up again, all your darks. Awesome. This one here needs a bit of yellow on it. This frond, it's not a leaf, well, it's a leaf, isn't it? So if I put some, I can warm it back up, but now we're getting back into that realm of painting layers. So like Pauline said a minute ago, I think we need about 3 weeks to do this picture. No, we haven't got 3 weeks. That's not what it's about. We're supposed to be proper artists. We can knock them out in next to no time. Well, I think we've got sort of 7 days. Well, 5 days, something like that. I haven't got to do it all in one sitting. I can't see me finishing this in one sitting somehow. Well, I'm gonna have a... What time is it now?
Nearly.
Nearly.
That's all right. We've got plenty of time.
Loads of time.
Lucky I've got rose madder though, isn't it? Or permanent rose or whatever colour it is, because it seems to be quite a prevalent colour. I mean, it's not by... I'm just sort of decided I need this colour range for today. It's the same palette that I use all the time. I'm stuck on it. It all started with those blooming portraits. So I'll buy this little palette to paint, just have portrait colours in it. And now I do all the painting. Everything comes out of that palette. I did something during the week. I can't remember what it was, and I thought, I'll just use the St. Petersburg ones, and they're really lovely. If someone says you can take anything you want on a desert island, that'd be it. One of the things top of the list would be a box of St. Petersburg paints, without a doubt. This bit over here goes right the way back. Hang on. Oh, well, it's going to. I've got a choice. I can say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say this is a flower, or part of a flower. that's going back into that stem. So I'm actually
Excuse me.
making it up now.
Oh gosh.
Bless you.
It's the smell of the flowers that make me sneeze.
Yeah, that's true with the flowers, isn't it? It sets off
Yeah.
your hay fever. You're going to be all right, Anne.
Me? No, I don't get hay fever. Thank you. I get asthma, I don't get hay fever.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's not a compensation, no.
Yeah, so I've changed my picture, well, part of it, to make, that's going to be a stick going down just behind that petal. And I thought it might lift the petal out a bit. Something like that. And then that'll go over there. Add a little bit of green to it if you want. I'm running out. I've mixed, right from the start, I mixed that little bit of green up. Starting to run out now. Mix up a bit more. And a bit of yellow on it. Viridian and yellow. Gives you that sort of leafy green. Sort of a leafy green. But the I like that one. That's just sitting there, that pool of water. So that's going to stay. This is going to be a leaf here. So what colour have I got on my brush? Oh, that was close. A leap of faith, that was. I just mixed up some green, didn't I? Forest green's a good green. But as I say, I think the nicest greens at the moment is Viridian and a bit of yellow. It gives you so many options. It's like there, after that's Viridian and a bit of yellow. You'll just dip your brush in the blue and drop it in while it's damp. Oh, don't go on with flower, you swine. Sorry. Now what I'm gonna leave, I want to leave a few minutes because I want to stick a, I think the final towards the end is I'm saving it to put some grey where I've left the slats because I want to pick them out with a nice grey. That was my plan. Meantime, I'm going to stick this as I have drawn a line there where the glass is, the vase. So it's more like, you shall not pass. You mustn't go over that line. Because I want it to be, it's just along here. I just want it to give me the option of making that really faint there. So it looks like it's going into glass. So here, it's just a mass of foliage. As I say, if you can pick out the main stems and then do them individually, you'll get much more opportunity later to put more put darks in, so you can pick out individual stems. That's, you can see it's going in there. That one's come out. Once I put a bit more dark on there, gradually build them up. Let me, what's I going to do then? Yeah, I'll add a little bit dark into a bit more in there actually. Surprised how long this paper is staying damp. Must be this new brush. There's a dark area there. There's a dark area there. Just get a bit more. What I was going to do, this one here, I think. Try and pick him out of it. And that area inside there. Go on, I'm going to go. Very dark in there. Gradually pick it off. No, hopefully you'll get there. You get the gist of what I'm trying to achieve. Just look for darker areas and gradually pick them out. And don't worry if they go too hard, because once it's dried back, you can just use clean water on your brush and lift it all off anyway. Lift, or just tighten it up. Just lift it out. That one needs tightening up there. You might find it easier to sit down. I'm stood up, but now I've got a lovely leaf here that I've drawn. So I'm going to start off with my raw sienna on the outside. Try not to hit my flower. I think it's better to go short. You know, don't butt up to it too much and come back later. You can always add a little bit. It's easier. What I'm trying to achieve here is make that bit. I've painted the whole thing.
Oh, you're coming right. Right, I'm just going to walk downstairs now.
Okay.
Peter's coming in.
Just going to paint the whole thing.
Ooh, I don't fall down
Raw
the stairs.
sienna. Pop in some green on that end. A bit too much water as usual. I think that's the only downside with these squirrel brushes. They hold so much water, it's deceptive. You don't think you've got a lot of water on your brush. Then when you touch the paper, whoosh, it all lifts out. Get a pool of water. As I say, at this stage, it's a sort of middle diddle stage. Am I just doing blocking in ready for tightening up later at some future point, or not? What I have done, I'm not very chuffed about. I think I should be able to rescue it. Use that off. There you go. It was just I spent a great deal of time and effort about an hour ago painting that petal, and I didn't want a horrible bit of raw sienna to paint over the top of it. Swine. There you go. That'd be fine. It's a little bit still left there, but from earlier. that we can just lift off and tighten it up. Voila, voila, voila. And get a bit of that grey, stick it on this area here, which is a flower. Which bit did I say was going to be its stem? That there you go. So I'm going to tease that up, but it's in the distance. Still needs a little bit lifting up there. Push it with the brush. Lovely. And then it's a question of building stuff up now. Oh, forgot something. Ding, ding, ding. Now, earlier I had a little bit of rose in my brush. Excuse me. And still, which I've just replicated. And then I took it and I went straight into the blue. And then said, I'm just going to do some more of those hyacinth thing over here. Hint of it. A bit darker than the other one, but you know, it's just in the background. Used to think painting flowers is very girly, but I tell you, it's not. It's really challenging to get you know, a nice they're not, they're hard. I think by calling it girly probably mean it's a compliment in a way, because it just means that girls have got more patience, perhaps, in historically.
I think that's a pretty big hole he's got down.
Yeah. Gonna go wrong, Dave, unless you stop.
Right. I've got a couple more fronds to put in, which is, I don't know why I did that really. I wanted raw sienna. I think I might use a smaller brush here. Your hands like a flipping surgeon. Reminds me of the sticks in that coppice picture. I still haven't finished that yet. I'm still looking at it thinking I'm going to sort that out. It's the sticks that got me. Still doing it now. But I can tighten them up. I was even considering buying a French curve, which is one of those plastic squiggly line things that you bend and you can draw lines, just so that I could get really nice tight hazel twigs going up. So what do you dream about at night, Dave? Painting flipping straight the hazel lines, or working out a way of doing it. So it could be one of my next art purchases. Viridian, bit of blue, should give us a nice, ooh, that's a bit too much blue. A nice sort of dark colour. Add a little bit of our rose to it, and you'll get a really nice dark, shadowy, greeny colour to stick into the. It's not grey, it's not green, it's dark shadow that we can now pick them out. It's the old watercolour thing, isn't it? Once you
Maybe
get
it's
a nice colour on there, keep going. Just find them, look for them. We've set the scene. We've put our base colours in. You know, the light colours. Now to try and find some of these dark ones and try and tease some life out of it. And I've got the colour, but I haven't got the skill to put it. There we go. Just don't want it. I'm using my hand as a guide. I think I'll add a little bit. Oh, that's the background there. That's fine. Me fronds, sticks as I would call them earlier. Just especially pick it out around where the flower is. Should really use a rigger for this. Just add a little bit of doodah. And I noticed that this one is darker on that edge. But once it's also, I mean, I'd recommend getting one of these brushes, but it does take a bit of practice because we're so used to having to keep going in and lifting paint up to the brush. But with this thing, it just sucks all your colour straight in. You know, I could keep going for another half hour with this. Not I'm going to. It's great fun. The glasses are slick now. I'm not sure which is shadow and which is tone. We've done all the hard work, putting all those base greens and tones in. Now the fun bit is adding all the darks to tease out those lighter colours. I think what I'll do now is mix up a little bit of shadow, which in my case is just dark bluey colour, adding it to the blue rose, pink rose madder, whatever colour, and see if I can just add a few bits onto this where it's dried back. Perhaps go from the bottom and work my way up. Ooh. Whoops. Then drop it some more in, let it do the opposite, run down. Yeah. Would I recommend this brush? Yeah, I think I would actually. Just drop them in, see what happens. And same with this one, I think. Ooh, there we go. That was a bit wild, wasn't it? A bit reckless. Well, what we're looking for is the beauty of it. It's got that really fine point on it. So if you want to put like there, I want to put a fine line going up through, just to give me a feeling that where the petals are. So that at some point when it dries, I'll know where they are and I can add more colour to it. But looking at them, I think when they dry, these tulipy things are more than likely, I won't do it, I could try, but I don't think it'll work now. It's dropping a bit of yellow on top. No, it won't. It needs to warm, it needs to dry off as a layer. So if you can mix up a bit of yellow with the warm red, with the red, it will give me that glowy, more of a glowy red. Just think it's a bit. Just want to add a little bit of warmth to it. Just try and go one side only. And don't forget that bottom bit's light. Oh, well, was. Okay. Once you've got some water, we can always soften it down afterwards. And then my next port of call was to mix up some nice bit of greyish colour. I've run out of turquoise. No, there's a little bit in there, in amongst the white. A bit of that. Gives me a sort of neutral grey tony colour. You don't think you're mixing up a lot, but it's all soaking up into this brush, which is fascinating me. And then start breaking the news. No, try not to stick your hand in too many damp areas, and try and just going to. I did it anyway. Luckily, it's the bottom of the page is wet. It's not actual. Follow that one across. Follow that one across. I'll put it there for now, but whether it will be there. Oh, I have missed a bit. Hang on. I'm just going to put some there. Missed a bit. Missed a bit. Miss a bit. Same there. And this leaf is in the way. So I might fill that up with leaves. I'll put a bit there. Definitely a line of it there. Definitely a line there. And I'll put a line there for now, because I'm conscious of the time. And then I'll wipe it all off. And just ordinarily I'd have some cleaner water, but it's gone a bit manky now. With clean water, where I've put the lines of paint, just let it drift it. Try and soften the bottom off. So my theory is that it will look like something going on. But you can see what I mean about the all the techniques. Now we're just putting lines of colour on and using clean water to let it soften it down and let it flow down. So start it off dry and just let it. Don't leave it too long, otherwise it will set. Especially in this paper, which is really absorbent. It's not as forgiving as Bockingford, Waterford, water, whatever it is, water cement. So like, just like Arthur Brown then, water summit. when you don't know the word, you just make one up or allude to a word. Maybe you can get a nicer grey than I've got. Yeah. Frustrating that you can't go over my petal a bit as well. That's annoying. There you go. There's one bit that's a definite must do before I go anywhere.
Oh, it's better for me, you are.
I'm just going to use a bit of raw sienna. And it's just there. It's got a stem on it. No, that's a proper stem, not a stick. I'll add a little bit of indigo.
It's clever how he pulls it all back.
which seems to be my new go-to black dark colour at the moment. Squished. We can pick him out later. Oh, he's gone wonky now. Thank God for tissue. Just on a bit of a stalk, which could go up there. Lift, push, 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 lift it up. Let the paint do the work. And got some hard edges floating around, so I can just use the brush to soften them down for now. The remarkable thing is, I've said this so many times now, is doing this now, you think, oh yeah, it's not too bad. And then tomorrow when it dries proper, you know, or I suddenly find loads of additional areas that, you know, highlight the painting even better. You just lift that up. Try to. Otherwise, Astor send that one back because of failure. It could be a reject. But I think the patience is the virtue in these things, because as I was saying, as it dries, there'll be lines suddenly appear and you look at things and you think, ah, look, I've got a nice area of shadow, or it just needs a fine line. I'm just making it up now because I'm seeing where I've got a dry spot there from earlier. It's just dry, and I can just with a little bit of yuck, really. There's no real color paint on there. I can just start smoothing little bits of shadow. You'll get it here as well with these trumpet things. You can flick it out, not from the top, because I don't think you'd be able to see that there. As it dries, same with these tulips, as they've dried, you can start to visualize where the petals are and where the shadows of them are. Good color, this indigo. If you just put a little bit on your brush, almost dry, and you can have great fun with it. Don't know what colour that's actually supposed to be, a sort of a grey colour there, isn't it? There you go. Shame really. I'm drawing it with the vase so far down. Would have been nice to do that. Almost. I think there's a temptation in my mind to, as it dries off, perhaps stick your hand in the paint, put a really fine hard line on the top of the blinds. We don't know if they're blinds. Well, we hope hope they look a bit like blinds. One thing I should do really is put a dollop of, see my yellow's gone green now, but hey ho, put a dollop of yellow there and emulate, I can't remember how I did it now, a bit of rose on top of the yellow, and I'll just put a drop of it there for a minute to say that there's another little rascal flower thingy over there.
Trumpet.
Yeah, and then while it's still damp, drop a few extra bits in. But I'm not fussed about this flower. I mean, he's coming up later tomorrow, but that is a petal there. So I need to clean my yellow. And that's a petal in there as well. We don't know what that is actually. I haven't got a clue. But I do know, just want to put an extra bit of grey in there. If I've got any left. Just to set that off. Cool, down you go. What you can do, of course, if you run out of a colour, is to go over the bits where you have got colour and just lift it off back onto the brush and then move it over to there. Well, voila. Where's my little bit of mount? There's more work to do, but I've broken the back of it.
Very nice. I like
Yeah.
it.
I don't think I could take it out. It's not, as I say, it's not sort of sellable as it is. It could be. It's got potential, and I think that doing the background like that looks really cool. Just need to, looking at it. Oh gosh, it looks different on the screen. I always do this. I haven't looked at the monitor, the computer all this time. It does look quite different. It's funny, really. I've got a row of people's heads on the top of it as well. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, it looks brighter than. It does look bright, doesn't it?
Nice.
Nice.
Not right.
Right.
I think your originals are best.
Oh, it's true.
No,
It's
No.
close. That's
no,
that one.
no. No, that's better.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So these are quite light, and I need to add a little bit more there. Tighten this bit up here. That's all it is now. We've set the scene.
No, lovely colour.
But you get
Right.
you get the drift.
Yeah.
Get the
All
thing.
No wonder Pauline left so early.
Joyce, you mean?
Oh no, Joy, sorry. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's a very good challenge.
That's why I do it. I'm wicked, I am. Actually, next week it's back on the portraits.
Oh gosh.
Actually, talking of portraits, I've been trying to find that sort of sand or dune colour, and I've had a job. The sand or the dune colour.
Yeah, you can get it from Jackson's. I got some.
I use St. Petersburg ones.
Yeah, get it from there. Yeah.
The only trouble with that is I'm a bit because it's Russian.
No, they come from Wareham.
But I thought they were Russian.
No, they're
Thank
Data Rowney.
Oh.
They're not Russian.
Oh right.
Don't want to support Russia. No.
That's it.
No.
The original sort of St. Petersburg was, but they make them in blooming Data Rowney.
Oh right.
Oh,
Right.
right.
Yeah, when you order them, it comes from Wareham. Well, there's only one company in Wareham.
Actually, Dave, the French ultramarine is actually English as well. Do you know that?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
By the way, I've sent you an enlargement of your gnomes that you had on your picture.
I heard my thing go. I thought, hello.
That's the gnome.
Well, that's been a busy morning there. I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks
Been hard
good.
at it.
Yeah.
I think flowers, as I say, that just sort out the leaves and the stems. If they all follow through, it makes it ever so easy, or a lot easier. So you can then, like I say, just paint, concentrate. You've got a stem there, paint it, move over to the one over there, paint it. That one's dry, you can get close to the one, you know, build them up. It looks a total mess initially, but as it evolves, you'll get lots of different colors. Well, they're all variants of the same palette, so they're going to balance, and then later on, as it evolves, then you can start looking for your darks. I don't know how you do that in acrylics, Chris.
I'll experiment.
Oh,
My mindset on that is so focused on painting the light bits and finishing off with the darks. I can't put my head around doing it the other way because, well, I suppose you just paint the dark bits of the leaves first. Just go for the really dark bits, and then it'll work. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll work.
right.
I love it. I've set the trouble is we all work. Some of our
paints. Sorry.
well,
Do you remember those Frasco paints that I think Joyce got some as well?
yeah, she uses them.
Yeah, I mean, this was just an old bit of canvas I found when I started doing them. I might have a go at, using
What?
them.
What are they?
Frasco.
It's a
Gouache.
powder.
Oh, right.
Hang on, I'm just getting them.
Yeah,
Those.
it's
Oh,
very
They,
let's see.
little crystals, aren't they?
they come in little pots like that, and it's just pigment.
Oh,
And it's
right.
very,
Okay.
very strong. Yeah. So I might have a play with those. I haven't done them for years, but I must
Very
remember to put my gloves on
really.
because
Oh.
they do stain like Gillian. Yeah, that's the
Oh, nice.
yeah. I don't think you can see that very well, but yeah, I might have to go with those.
Just throw caution to the wind.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I've just focus on one element. If you just want one flower, one red one and a hyacinth, just do that. Change the composition. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah.
Because I looked at the ticket website and it crops it down. I thought, you know what, I like that.
I might just get a big piece of canvas and do all separate flowers and then choose the one I like the best.
Good idea, I reckon.
Wow.
I reckon that's fab, as we say, fab. You know? Or as we say in the rock world, fab.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right.
It's a shame I'm not doing the old fogies, the care homes with the music at the moment, because I'd put these on.
Yeah.
Only the lonely, pretty one.
Which are the all opposites.
Time. We're getting delirious from lack of strength.
Right.
Yes. Okay then. Well, good luck.
Right, over to you
Right.
lot now.
Right. See what
Thanks very
happens.
much, Dave.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be thinking of you, Pauline.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Right,
Bye.
everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.